the joy they bring when they giggle at funerals. It eases the pain when life is getting you down. They will turn you around and put your feet back on the ground. They can be a pain in the butt, but you gotta love them a lot. Big up to the little ones.
We're here at Jeff's Pirates Cove in beautiful Ipan, Talafofo. I've known Uncle Tote since maybe 1973. He's a great guy. He came to Pirates Cove many times. His family, his friends, we all got together here. He's been a great inspiration to the music world on Guam. He liked everybody. He made friends with everybody. He made people I didn't even like and me friends again. So he's been a great inspiration.
Last Sunday, a graduation party was held at Jeff Pirates Cove to honor and celebrate the life and legacy of Joe Uncle Tote Cunningham. Cunningham passed away a couple of weeks ago at the age of 67. Over 400 family, friends, musicians, and those who had the pleasure of knowing Uncle Tote came out ready to send him off in style. Cunningham was known by many on Guam and around the world for his musical abilities. He had a distinctive voice, a childlike but contagious smile, a great sense of humor, and could sing and play just about any song you requested. Cunningham spent years building up a listening audience on the radio and has made his mark on the local music scene, helping musicians of all ages. He hailed from Louisville, Kentucky, but called Guam home. The news of his passing has many still in shock, especially the music community and those who he mentored. Many friends recall fond memories of Cunningham roller skating through the radio stations he used to work for, while others called him a musical legend on Guam. Jefferson Cronin has known Uncle Tote for about 20 years and worked with him in theater and video projects.
And he was a dear, dear friend of mine, as he was to the 400 and some people who are here at this party in his honor today. I can tell you that my fondest memory of Uncle Tote was when he would come into my living room completely unannounced and sort of sit down and start singing his latest song. And he would always beat on his bony little chest the rhythm out to the song and sing the song and share it with me. And he was always so excited, like a kid in a candy store.
Peter Lynn recalls when Uncle Tote would come in and sit during his gigs.
About 20 years ago, I was visiting my family in Los Angeles, California. I was with my sister. We were going to her boyfriend's apartment in Hollywood about midnight, and she introduced me to the neighbor who was just standing outside smoking a cigarette. She said, "Oh, here's my brother visiting from Guam. I want you to meet him." The guy goes, "Guam? You know Joe Cunningham?" So he's known all over the world.
Uncle Tote's younger sister, Cindy Elligood, was flown from Kentucky to Guam for his graduation party. Through the kindness and generosity of family, friends, and the island community, money was collected to bring her to the island.
Joe had been a Guamanian for quite a while when this happened. This was the first time he actually came home to see the family, and we hadn't seen him in a long time. So a bunch of us piled into a car, and we went out to this newly built mall in our part of the town, which was a fairly big deal for us. I mean, whew, now we have 2 malls, wow. Well, anyway, so we walked in and we were sitting down out in the food court, and we were, of course, eating ice cream, which was one of his favorite things in the world, and probably he never got over that. Well, some people were walking around and they were flashing their money and flashing their credit cards and talking about what they were going to get in the new stores and what have you, and just really bragging like crazy. And Joe looked at them, and then he looked at us and he said, "White punks on money."
Many of those whose lives Uncle Tote touched, like Cindy Hansen, who worked with him while at KUAM, remembers the love and bond he had with his 3 children, Lindsay, Trey, and Brandon.
My fondest memory of Joe was the love he had for his kids. You know, we watched those 3 kids grow up. He used to bring them to work almost every day, you know, starting with Lindsay when she was a baby, and then Trey, and then Brandon, and you know, he'd be on the board, you know, mixing music, you know, doing his thing, and he built a little wooden board. They probably still had it. Had moving slide pots and everything. It looked just like a real radio mixing board, and you know, you'd go look in 610, and there'd be Joe, you know, mixing the music on the board, and behind him there'd be Trey or Lindsay or Brandon, one of the kids back there pretending that they were a DJ too. And I just always thought he was the most amazing father, and my fondest memories are just watching him interact with his kids.
Cronin says that if he had the opportunity to see him one last time, he would make Uncle Tote see just how great of an impact he had on the island he called home.
If Uncle Tote were here right now, and I could talk to him, I wouldn't. I'd just look him in the eye, I'd hug him, and I'd point him out and show him the effect that he has had on the world. Not many of us get to understand the effect that we have on the world, and that's the effect that we have on people. And Uncle Tote, he affected profoundly and positively everybody he ever met. He was a beautiful soul.
As for what Uncle Tote's legacy is?
His legacy is that, you know, we as humans, we probably only meet a great soul once or maybe twice in our lifetime. A soul that is just sort of supersedes or permeates everything. I mean, he's just part of everything. And this is the way Uncle Tote was. And all 400 plus of us here today would say that he was our good friend, maybe even our best friend. And to me, it's the greatest thing you can say about a man, a true citizen of the world, a citizen of the universe. Uncle Tote, we love you.
How has he not influenced island music? And by being not from here, but coming here and learning the language, and you know, it's just a testament to blending in with the culture and promoting it.
If he has any legacy, that would be it. You know, don't be afraid to follow your dreams. Joe did, and look, now he lives in our hearts forever.
It's kind of hard to put into words what his legacy is, and everything from the kids and the grandkids, what have you. The greater thing, I think, is the spirit of Joe, and the way that he took in everything of Guam, everything of the Chamorro culture, and made it part of him. Because I think maybe in some way it was always part of him. And coming home here, it was definitely a reawakening. He knew it as home right away. And I believe that what he did was he was able to give that back to the people that he loves here and in other places. And I think that too is going to be an extremely important part of his legacy, along with the magnificent kids and grandkids that he's leaving behind. So he did good. Did a good job.
Nudging the boys and girls safely into the world. Big up to the moms and dads.